Today we are going to discuss about Newton's third law of motion. So I write down first Newton's third law. Okay. You cannot see it. So what Newton's third law says that to every action there is equal and opposite reaction. Sorry, the statement of this law is that to every action there is equal and opposite reaction. Okay, that is the statement of the law. Now to understand this thing, I will show you using a small spring. So look at this spring. So suppose the length of the spring, you can understand this one, what is the length of the spring. Now when I apply force, the spring get compressed, and the spring is also start to apply the force in this opposite direction. So I am applying a force in the spring in this direction, and the spring is also applying the force instantly in this opposite direction. So like this way, in our everyday life, in every objects is made of hot atoms and molecules. So in between all atoms and molecules like this, there are small spring like structures are there. Now suppose this is an object here. So in this object the atoms and molecules are there, and they are in between atoms and molecule, that the spring like structures are there. Now if I keep some other object on it, if I keep the other object on this object, this one, like this way, then what will happen? This object will compress the molecules and atoms and molecule of this surface. So as it is compressed, so when I keep this object, this green color object on the top, then it will apply the force on this object, on this blue color object, So this will be known as, this force is known as the action force. So when this action is applied, automatically this blue color object, as it is compressed, so it will also apply the force on the upward direction. So that is called the reaction force. So this is the concept of the action and the reaction, or you can say this is a resisting force. Okay. So now I'll draw one simple diagram to explain the thing. So think about two objects, like this is one object, this is another object. So now this is A object and this is B object. So A and B objects are collided with each other. So what will happen? A object will apply force on B, and also the B object will also apply the force on A. So I'll just draw the direction of the force. So this force is known as FAB, and this force is known as FBA. So what is FAB? FAB is the force exerted by B on A. And what is FBA? FBA is the force exerted by body A on body B. So according to Newton's third law, what you can write, FAB is equal to minus FBA, or you can write force on A by B is equal to minus of force on B by A. Okay, so this is the Newton's third law. So again I'll read the statements. So to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So that is the actual concept. Now I'll give you some properties, you can say, or you can say some important points. So write some important points as a heading. Some important points. What are the some important points? That is, a single isolated force cannot exist. That means only action force will be there, that cannot be exist. So you can write the first one. A single isolated force cannot exist. Okay. Number 2, force in nature always works in pairs. Forces in nature always works, always occur in pair. Okay. So action and reaction force never acts on the same body. Very, very important one. Action and reaction forces never act on the same body. Now next one is action and reaction force acting on different bodies never cancel each other. This is also a very important one. Action and reaction forces acting on different bodies never cancel each other. Okay. Then another one is that action and reaction force are equal in magnitude but opposite direction. So you can write action and reaction forces are equal in but opposite in direction. Okay. Next points, you just remember this one. Newton's third law is applicable whether the body is at rest or motion. Okay. And last one is action reaction force acts simultaneously. So you can write here also one point, action and reaction force, action and reaction forces acts simultaneously. Okay, so this is the one point. Another one, what I told you, this Newton's third law is applicable whether the body is at rest or motions. Okay, so this is all about Newton's third law of motion. So Thank you very much. Next class we will continue with the applications of the Newton's third law of motion. Okay, so thank you very much.